Welcome back to my podcast, Hot.Mess.Knits, episode 5. I'm Shayna, for anybody that's new and doesn't know me or that's not family watching. Today is freezing cold outside. I live in western New York. It is snowing right now. The snow needs to go. I'm ready for spring. Oh, no coffee right now for me. I had enough coffee this morning, so tea today. Drinking this awesome stuff that my mother-in-law got me hooked on. It is made by Stash, caffeine-free, cinnamon vanilla, a soothing chamomile blend with spicy cinnamon and sweet vanilla. This stuff is the shiznit. And especially like when it's the weekend, I love splashing a little something something in here. Yes, so good. Oh, before I kick off into everything else, because I tend to jump around, I can't, even with my notes, I'm like all over the place. So before I end up forgetting, because I did it last episode, that I forgot to mention in the beginning that I made a Ravelry group. Or maybe I did do it in the last time. Maybe it was the one before last. No, I think it was last time. Whatever. In any case, I'll go over it again. I have a group on Ravelry, Hot.Mess.Knits podcast. You can type it in the search bar in Ravelry, Hot.Mess.Knits with the periods or without, just spaced Hot.Mess.Knits podcast. Either way, it pulls up and you'll find it. So easy to find. Please join in the conversation. And I'm going to start up a knit along soon. Probably once maybe I knock out some of these projects that are taking me a while to do because I have too many hobbies and not enough time. But I was thinking, let's think spring. So something kind of broad and generic. Not generic, I don't know. But that way it gives tons of flexibility for everybody on what they want to make. Just shawls in general, but I thought the idea of spring colors or, you know, like lighter, airy, you know, like ready for spring weather that will maybe eventually come. Like I said before, I live in western New York and it's just snowing out there. I'm ready for it to be gone. I'm so over it. But anywho, yes, please hop on Ravelry and join in the group and have fun. Okay, so I got that. So I didn't forget that one. Whips. I'm sorry to bore you guys to death, but it's the same whips. But, you know, they're getting closer and closer to being done. I've got one more skein left to go, and I think that should be enough for this crocheted blanket I've been working on forever. The last time I showed you guys a couple weeks ago, this is where I moved it to like the top of from the last time I showed you guys. So since then, you know, I got that much more done. My cat is geeking out because an icicle fell outside. But I mean, it's pretty good though. So I really should, after I'm done with all this stuff today, I should really just burn through that last skein and get this one done so I have a finished object. And then I gotta start another blanket. But at least it's done. That's what I want to look forward to. And then the Darkwater sweater by Jennifer Staingas. I showed you guys before. Been working on it. So I think the last time I showed you guys, I had just split for the armholes, for like the sleeves and whatnot. Oh, I'm stuck. Hold on, guys. Don't mind me. Alright, so yes, the last time I showed you guys, I had just separated for the sleeves. So I got a good chunk done. I was worried about running out of the purple color, which was the Longmeadow Farm one-of-a-kind colorway. And so I went ahead and, I'm trying to see if there's a nice way to show you guys, and faded it into the Verdant Griffin Bugga in Faithful Beauty. and I just, went through fading. How did I do it? I had to look it up because I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So I ended up doing, the purple, and then I did one of the bugga color, and then 3 of the purple, 1 of the bugga, 2 of the purple, 1 of the bugga, then was 1, and then it reversed order, so then it was 1 of the bugga, 1 purple, 2 bugga, 1 purple, 3 bugga, 1 purple, and then it was done fading. And I think it looks great. I'm stoked to eventually get this done. So it's so hard because I want to get this done, and then I was like, oh wait, what about my socks? Trying to work on that too. And then as you can see, I've got sewing stuff, and I haven't spun anything in a while, so I brought my wheel out, which I don't have that out here to show you guys. I'll have to take a picture of what I've got spun so far on my wheel. I've got some of the fiber that I'm going to show you guys here in a minute. Like I said, I'm a crazy person. I'm a hot mess. I like to jump around, do a bunch of different things, and it's ridiculous. But that's me. So anywho, that is what I've gotten done of the Darkwater sweater. And I'm going to show you guys what I got left. Come on. Well, what the heck did I do with it? Y'all? Oh, I thought I lost my purple yarn. I was going to say, oh my gosh, how am I going to do the sleeves? Alright. Good grief. Hot mess. Alright. So this is what I have left of the purple. So I still have to, go on the sleeves and then fade it into the bugga bugga. So I could have probably went a little further with the purple, but I didn't want to run out because, like I said, it's a one-of-a-kind colorway. There's no more of this color by that company. And so better play it safe. And I've got two balls of the bugga, the Verdant Griffin bugga in Faithful Beauty. So that I know I have more than enough of. So I figured, that'll be fine. So let's see if I have it on me. And I have to do 13 inches in stockinette before I, from the underarm measuring down of 13 inches before I do the ribbing. And then I'll have to see where I'm at with the 13 inches and see how many inches the ribbing is, because I do like my sweaters a little longer because of the way my hips are. I can't stand stuff that's not long enough and then it rides up and all of a sudden you're like, okay, not everybody wants to see that. I like it to lay over it. So I'm at, so here's the girls here, and then, so I mean, my hips are down here. So it's getting there. I'm loving it. And I think the color I chose, that Verdant Griffin to go with it, is working great with it. I mean, I probably could have had a better choice, but you know what? Working with what's in my stash, and I love it. Moving on with the next whip. Alright, so I think the last time I showed you guys, all I had done was worked on, I think just the cuff of my sock, of the hazelnut socks, by Helen Stewart. And I was doing it in the Malabrigo sock yarn, Poisson, or Poisson? I don't know. Alright, hold on a minute, guys. But I'm still on the first sock, but you guys, I got a good bit done. I really should have it on a sock blocker so you guys can shows it off a lot better. But I have, I think 10 more rows before I decrease for the toes. So I mean, you guys, it's getting there. And this yarn, the color and the pattern is beautiful. So you guys, I can't even. I absolutely love it. And then it was just a heel flap and gusset, which as of right now are still my favorite. They fit my foot great. So, oops, don't mind that scratching sound. But it is beautiful, beautiful pattern. But like I said, I jump around so much, I get sidetracked. I will show you guys the fiber that I'm spinning. And let's see, it is, I'm still not even sure how you say it, Frabjous fibers. It was the Melody pack. I got this a while ago. And it's a merino and or Polworth top and uncarded locks. So it was a Melody pack that I got in Wisconsin from Wool and Cotton Company, which is sadly no longer open. And here, I'll move my oil. And it's just some fun colors that I'm just, I think I might keep it as a single. Most likely that, or I might two-ply it with another like white single. I don't know. But the fun part about this is it came with all sorts of, they're all in like this color, but they're locks, dyed locks that I'm just kind of spinning into it. Here, maybe better if I take this whole bowl out so you guys can see, or maybe that's still too dark, but they're so pretty, and I'm not real great with art yarn, at least purposefully making art yarn, but it's still fun. I love it. It's great. Finished objects. I only have 2, and they're not knit related, but they are crafty. This gorgeous blanket here, fleece. Ooh, am I gonna tip back? Am I gonna fall? I don't know why I thought I could reach it and flip it. Just kidding. For anybody who knows Harry Potter, it is the Marauders map. Let me, so y'all can't see it that well. Harry Potter for life. That's me. And so what I ended up doing is I got 3 yards of like a maroonish color, 3 yards of the Marauders map, and I just did kind of like a braid all the way around. And this thing is my favorite blanket ever. It is the greatest. It is the softest, warmest thing ever, which is fantastic right now because like yesterday was I think 10 degrees but feels like -6. Yeah, or maybe that was the day before yesterday. But in any case, it is too stinking cold for me. And then my other finished object is this adorable sushi robe I made for my youngest son. Absolutely adorable. It is definitely not perfect, but it fits him great. And he loves it. It's got pockets, and then like the tie, I went ahead and just sewed it on in the center and the back just so we don't ever lose it, because that seems to happen a lot. And it is just absolutely adorable. And I'm still bumming that they didn't have enough fabric for myself. And I've got llama fabric, and you guys, I cut out the pattern yesterday, or not yesterday, like, I don't know, maybe a week ago, that I went ahead and washed it and was cutting out. Well, I did something wrong, or maybe the width wasn't the right width, and I have to like kind of try to piece 2 pieces together to make the back. I mean, do I really care that much? No, because you can sew the pieces together. Yeah, you'll have a seam line, but it's a robe. I'm not wearing it outside unless it's like as far as my porch with a cup of coffee, you know, once the weather breaks, but I'm not that concerned. So at some point, I'm going to get back to my sewing machine and make that. It took me a while to make his robe, so I'm trying to like, okay, I was on that for like a solid week. Time to go back to my knitting or spinning and try to like cycle it a little better. Still on the sewing related stuff here, projects that are coming up that I'm going to be working on after I probably make my robe. I got these patterns for dresses for myself. New Look 6340. I don't remember if I showed you guys last time. New Look 6352. And 100 Acts of Sewing, dress number 1. So I've got a couple fabrics that I want to make into dresses. And so with the fact that it's still snowing outside, I'm not in a mad rush to make the dresses yet. So I'd rather get my robe done. I can do my knitting and spinning and all that stuff, and then get into making, you know, starting on the dresses. So this was a linen cotton blend. It's just gray. I love gray, I love black, and I like simple things, and I like fun things. Depends on my mood. So I thought, you know, this would be, you know, if it's, I think linen is supposed to be one of those things that gets better with every wash and is great for summer along with cotton. So linen cotton blend, why not? So that was one that I had gotten. Again, Harry Potter. So Deathly Hallows, that's going to be an adorable dress. Probably one of my favorite dresses. Obsessed. Another one. Herringbone print. Hopefully it works out as cute as I'm hoping it's going to be. Which is just a little more modern-y look to it. I love it. And then I like retro vintage stuff. So the cherries I thought were adorable. Upon receiving it, looks a little sheer, a little see-through, so I will probably have to get another fabric to layer underneath it, so nobody can see my undies. And then little pin dots, just, you know, your red little pin dots. Something about retro-y, flowy dresses, and I love it. So that is that, and that's all for sewing-y stuff. I did get my nitpicks box from, they send it out in fact like at the end of the month. So I have my February nitpicks box. I got it, you know, maybe a week or two ago. I haven't had it that long. I usually get it, it seems like the beginning of the following month, because they send it out the 20th, and then it takes like, it feels like forever for it to get to me. So I figured while I'm, you know, hopped on here talking to you guys, for anybody that's interested, I will show you what came in my nitpicks box. We'll start out with the thing that I was most excited that it was in there. I've been eyeing it up forever, and I just, for whatever reason, never bought it. It is a chart keeper. So, like, I've got my socks on there, my sock pattern on there right now, because it's got cables going in, like, every other row for the sock pattern. So, this is great. The magnets, you know, okay, come on and off, but like they're strong enough that they, you know, you can move them, but they're, you know, they don't just fall off. And how adorable is this fabric? I don't know, whatever. Yeah, it is, I guess, technically a piece of fabric. It's cute. And the outside, in case you guys didn't notice it, it's rose gold. I love rose gold. My phone has rose gold on it for the back. You know, I have a case on it, but rose gold, I love it. So that was my favorite thing that came in this box, because I've been wanting one forever. And then I got 4 balls of wonderfluff, which is, what is it comprised of? It is a bulky weight, and it is 70% baby alpaca, 7% merino, and 23% nylon. It's so soft, and the halo on it, you can see the little fuzzy halo. And so it came with 4 balls. So Atlantic Heather, Turquoise Heather, and then also Royal Heather and Goji Heather. And I mean, the colors are beautiful together. They're all heathers, and I love heathered yarns just because it gives a little more something to it rather than just complete solid. I think that's why I like speckly yarns or tonal yarns, kettle dyed yarns, heathered yarns, because it just adds a little more something to it. And then of course they included a beautiful pattern that is meant for this yarn, the checked cowl. So that is going to be fun to make. Does it take 4 of them? Oh yeah, because they have a neutral version. So that's what they show right there is the neutral version. And then the yarns that I got in my box is considered the jewel version. So let me show you a picture of that. Come on, get it together. So that is the jeweled version. And then they've got that one there too. So I mean, it's so pretty. I'm excited to make that. And then last but not least, I love bags. And I love coffee. So how perfect is that? So cute. So now I've got a coffee yarn bag, project bag. So stoked. Alright. Let me just see if there's what else I'm forgetting. Because I know I'm forgetting something. Oh, upcoming projects. Cause just so it's not like, okay, you guys are seeing the same stuff that I've been working on. I'll give you a sneak peek on what I'm going to be working on next. Because everything's getting closer and closer to the end. So then I'll be able to, I mean, yeah, I could cast on another project, but I like the idea of, or not the idea, I like the feeling of something that's finished. So my next project is going to be something that can be whipped up pretty dang quick. So what better than a hat? We're still going to have hat weather for a while we've got several inches of snow on the ground. Snow is flying still. Yeah. I'll make myself another hat. So I picked Barley Tin Can Knits. I love their stuff. I'm going to definitely be making sweaters in some of their patterns. But I mean, it's fairly simple. It's, you know, just your beanie hat, and then it's got like this little textured part that's in garter. And I love the simplicity of it while still giving some texture. I decided it takes worsted weight. I do, yes, worsted or Aran weight. And I'm going to be using my Malabrigo Rios in Pedra that I've had forever since I think I bought that yarn the same time I got my sock, the sock yarn I'm using. That's Malabrigo sock. Back 2013 when I first started knitting, and I was like, ooh, pretty. And I don't know how to knit very well, so I don't want to use the nice yarn yet. So I hoarded it for how many years now? I mean, 5 years, going on 6. So I figured stash bust time. So I already wrote it down. That's what I'm going to use with this. And then the other one I picked for after I get, you know, another project done is going into a little more spring colored, but still like bulky and warm. Because who knows, we might still have snow for Easter. So this is the Thermal Cowl version 1. So it's a, because there's 2 versions. So it says version 1 is a slightly larger, floppier cowl than version 2. And she said I spun the yarn for mine, but you can sub in any bulky yarn you want to use. So I have hand spun yarn that I have not really worked with. So why not? So I'm going to be using a hand spun single that's like in pastel colors. And I mean, this picture is not great, so I apologize, but it's just a cowl. I'm trying to see. Thermal stitch. I mean, it's a free pattern that I got off Ravelry. I'm pretty dang sure it was free. And it's not seed stitch. It's so you have some ribbing, and then you have like knit rows, purl rows, and it alternates. So it just gives it some fun texture. And I think with it being a single ply that I'm going to use, I think it'll be just fine. Alright guys, and that's really all I've got So keeping it kind of short. Went through all my goodies, what I'm working on, updates. Again, I'm thinking of doing that knit along shawl, spring shawl, think spring, on my Ravelry group, Hot.Mess.Knits podcast on there. So please join me there. And you know, that way we can share projects, and it's a lot easier to share pictures and things like that. Because I don't think on YouTube you can post a picture and share that way. I mean, there's always Instagram too, which you can always find me on Instagram, Hot.Mess.Knits, hot.mess.knits, on there. And I try to post things weekly on there as well. Sometimes it's daily, sometimes it's every other day or once a week. Kind of depends, because I don't want to post the same thing where it just, you know, again, bores everybody. But I think that's gonna wrap it up. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to stay tuned for the next episode. Please find me on Ravelry or Instagram. And that's really it. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.